And within 5 years, those companies are gone.
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah, but you can't get parts.
Good morning. Today is May 6, 2025. The Board of Commissioners meeting will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Oh, that was a great breakfast, wasn't it?
That was. Matt, everybody did a great job. All right, first on the agenda, additions, deletions to the agenda. Hearing none, gentlemen? Motion made by Commissioner Wincher,
I can second it.
seconded by Commissioner Casper. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda, employee recognition. I'm going to pass this over to Administrator LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the first item is introductions. I'll start with Land Services.
Good morning.
Good morning, Amy.
I'd like to introduce to you Matt Farrow. He is our newest Land Services member, and he is hired on as a appraiser. So he's, a couple weeks in. Yep. So learning the ropes, got to go around with staff for the Board of Appeal and Equalization, and we'll be training him throughout the summer.
Great, well, welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Matt.
Do you have your 5-minute speech with you? No, I don't.
I forgot it.
I didn't get the memo on that one.
Well,
Thanks,
welcome
Matt.
aboard.
Welcome, thanks, Amy. And Brian, Attorney's Office.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Brian.
morning. Good morning.
So I'm pleased to introduce the newest members of my office. We have Jennifer Melton.
Morning.
Morning, Jennifer.
Morning.
She's been with us a few weeks, and she's a new assistant county attorney doing drug cases and misdemeanors.
Oh, great.
And then right next to me is Natalie Schifferl. She's actually been in the office quite a few months already. I've just been negligent in bringing her down here to introduce you. She does quite a bit of everything.
Juveniles, misdemeanors, and some of the
Felonies.
adult felonies.
Welcome, Natalie.
Fantastic. Welcome to both of you.
Don't be strangers, you can come down here anytime.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks,
Thank you.
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Welcome aboard, have a great day.
Okay, any other introductions, new employees? You got a full house, that's great. Okay, moving right along. And we'll head to our first quarter Award of Excellence recognition portion of this morning. First and foremost, thank you everybody for being here this morning. It's a great day. Started off with our Employee Appreciation Breakfast, one of our favorite mornings of the year, as all part of Public Service Recognition Week. So today, being part of Public Service Recognition Week, we do like to highlight our employees and the exceptional work that they do. So Morrison County has an Awards of Excellence program that's sponsored and promoted by our Board of Commissioners. What that means for us is each quarter we identify an employee who's gone above and beyond and is recognized amongst either superiors or peers across the organization. So it starts with a nomination, and you should say, as you walked into the boardroom this morning, you walked by 5 photos on the wall. Those are our 4 quarterly recipients and our 1 annual recipient. So back to the process, nominations come in, and then they are reviewed by a a selection committee, which is made up of the board chair, the vice, and 2 department heads that don't have somebody who's been nominated. That's how the selection committee convenes, or that's what they look like. From that, they select the winner of those that are nominated, and then we take time during a board meeting to recognize that individual, and then their name goes up on the wall. They also receive a nifty trophy to display on their desks. So as you see these historical courthouse blocks of wood around the building, those are typically folks who have received this recognition as an Award of Excellence recipient for the quarter or the annual. And a parking spot, there's a coveted front row parking, and then a piece of either Morrison County apparel or chamber bucks, and an article in the Morrison County Record. And then our quarterly recipients are then eligible to compete for the annual. So, without further ado, this morning I would like to recognize our first quarter recipient, who probably knows who they are at this moment because of the special guests that are here. Maybe not, but I'll read the nomination. Below are the excerpts from your nomination. As a prosecutor, she consists, come on up here, Laura. All right, we try to keep it a surprise, maybe until this morning. As a prosecutor, Laura is consistently available to our office and is always pleasant. And I must say, this nomination came in from the corrections office, so it's really neat. So you'll hear their words. Laura is open to having discussions regarding our clients and wants to understand why we might be making a certain recommendation. Laura listens to us and is always open to trying to find a way to hold people accountable, but to allow for rehabilitation whenever possible. Laura is knowledgeable about her cases, always well prepared and professional, especially when appearing in court. Laura takes the time to reach out prior to hearings to ensure that we know the process and are comfortable with what is happening during the hearing. Laura is often seen in the office on weekends prepping her cases and getting ready for trial. She gives 100% to her job and yet is always available to our office as needed. Laura embodies working together to ensure that we are resident-centric interactions. Resident-centric, always striving to do better, collaboration, all of our imperatives and values. You embody those, Laura. I appreciate and am grateful for that. I'll share a little tidbit on the side. You know, I see Laura in and around the facility, the campus. She's also an active member of our MCEA, our Morrison County Employees Association. Has served in executive positions on that committee, which I'm super grateful for. And they are some of the special sprinkles that we have here in the county and kind of help promote a positive culture. And then even yesterday, as recent as yesterday, the third graders come here from Lindbergh School. I think Commissioner Winter's wife started that a few years ago. And yesterday was our first class for spring 2025. And anyway, as we come through the building, we stay on this side. So if you haven't seen them, it's okay. We're over here on this side of the building. And we get upstairs to courts, and one of the judges talks to them. And then I usually ask an attorney if they've got a few minutes. And one of the kids says, "What's the worst part about your job?" And Laura, without missing a beat, she says, "Losing a case." So we know she is ultra competitive. She comes in prepared. She tries to win and gives it her best every time. But then also takes that very seriously, knowing that she represents victims and those that are in need and reach out at their times and their worst times. And her role is to try to hold those accountable that put them in that position. So very passionate about her role and gives it her best every single time. And we're so ever grateful for you. So Laura, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, we'd like to recognize you as our first quarter Award of Excellence to Laura Welly in recognition of your contributions assisting Morrison County in providing cost-effective, high-quality services in a friendly, respectful manner. Thank you for all that you do and for making Morrison County a place that our residents are proud to call home. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before I ask the board, is there anything you want to say?
Thank you to probation for nominating me. A big thanks to my dad for coming. He came 4 hours away. And big thanks to Kenny and Cindy, my in-laws, and my sister and brother-in-law back there for coming as well. I really enjoy working here. I'm not from here. I hail from East Grand Forks, but I've been here since 2017, and this is my home. So I'm really honored to work in this county and work for Brian and work with the commissioners and all the wonderful people who are here. But thanks again to probation for nominating me. It's an honor to be nominated for this award.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, we'll let him talk first. Mr. Chair, no, you stay right here.
Congratulations, Laura, on a well-deserved award. When we read your nomination, it was filled with words of professional, hardworking, fair, prepared, pleasant, that you give 100%, and that you're always available to those that work with you. And we couldn't ask for a better nomination, and we want to wish you many more years of hard work, and we appreciate everything that you do. Greg?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Laura, it's a pleasure for us to be here with you and to give you this award. I'll just say that your level of accountability that you take with your position on a daily basis is a tremendous example to not only the rest of the employees of Morrison County, but to myself and to the board members here. You're a tremendous asset to Morrison County. We're grateful you're here. Thank you.
Anything else, John? Mr. Casper?
Mr. Chair, thank you. Laura, I've never met you till today, I don't think.
One time.
But I already love you. Yeah. Thank you for what you do. You know, it's that old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it sounds like you're making a huge difference. You're making a difference in the employees here, let alone the people that you see in court. Thank you so much. God bless your efforts. Yeah, keep up the good work.
Commissioner Moran?
Yeah, and one other thing she did, she served for 8 years with the Hands of Hope as a board member. Was it 6 years? Okay. And she put in her term there, and they were very, very sad to see her go, but she was involved, and it was just another thing that she volunteered time for and appreciated.
Commissioner Winter?
Mr. Chair, I can't say anything above what they said, so again, congratulations, and it's well-deserved.
Yeah. All right, let's go get a photo. Come on up here. And after the first one, family, if you want to join her, if we could get family members. Yeah, in-laws too. Come on, Darren, bring them up here. Yeah.
I also forgot to thank my husband, Darren.
We'll get one with just the board and then have you come up. Hi, neighbor. Hi, how are you? Thanks for coming so much. Hello, nice to see you again. Thanks, Darren. Thanks for getting everybody here. Good to see you guys. All right, come on up. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Come on in here. We'll leave her up right in the front row, and he's gonna gather around. Congratulations.
Raised her well. Thank you. I see you guys.
Oh, that's
Yeah, totally fine.
totally fine.
They don't need me.
No, I don't want to block that.
Nice. All right, one more round of applause for Laura, please. Thanks. Thanks. Have a good day. Here you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darren.
Awesome. Enjoy your day. Perfect. Yeah, we'll see you around. Yes, thank you. Okay. As we reset, one more item of recognition this morning. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. I often talk about our employees. You know, that's what makes a difference around here. Without them, it's hallowed walls and a whole lot of nothing, cubicles and computers and whatnot. But what we do is because of the people, and it takes the people to make this happen. And I'm ever grateful for those that are here and commit to the county for that continuity and provide that highest level of service. Just a quick explanation. Our Years of Service program, it might feel like we've taken a break for a while. Well, we did, and now we're kind of slow start back into it. We did some different calculating, and I'll just say this. We were recognizing, I had asked Tabitha, I said, let's recognize them at the start of their 20th year instead of the end of their 20th year, but for example, or 5 or 10 or what have you. But then I started getting feedback, I haven't been here for 20 years yet. And I'm like, yeah, but it's the start of your 20th. But it doesn't feel right. It's like, okay. So we're resetting that. So we will build back up to seeing, 20 or 25 people here at a time. But for this morning, we have 3 to recognize. I believe 2 are here, maybe. Ashley's here, I know. Is Josh here? Josh isn't here, right? Okay, Ashley, come on up. 5 years of service to Morrison County, Ashley LeBlanc, at least 2 different positions here, right? Yeah, congratulations, thank you so much. That's our 5-year recipient, and we'll take a picture with the board. Come on up here. And I took my glasses off. Dana's not here. Okay, all right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work. Right here. Right here.
Yeah, you gotta,
Tabitha.
we gotta get you in the middle,
Yep.
Right there.
right here.
All right.
Gotta get a little tighter.
Here.
She doesn't have cooties, don't worry. Smile.
Thanks for being here, Abigail. All right, one more round of applause for Ashley, please. Perfect. And Dana's not here, so recognize Dana, but the 3 of them, Josh, Dana, and Ashley, 20 years of service for Morrison County. Thank you so much. Okay. Next item on the list is a retirement. Kenny, come on up, please. Tony. Tony? And we'll have you come on up here pretty soon. You know, yeah, you. Yeah, you. Well, come on, Roxy. Tony said come on up here. Might as well. Roxy's here, we'll include her too. So this morning we are bidding farewell to Kenny Lukasavage, dedicated Public Works employee. I kind of was, and I told Tony he gets to talk first, so. But a cornerstone, you know, you think Public Works, you think Kenny Lukasavage, the synonymous man who's given to the organization more than most, but Tony.
Yeah, so I've only been here 3.5 years. Kenny's been a fantastic face to have around our department. You know, started as an intermittent plow driver, worked into full-time maintenance tech. He's a man that can do everything. Run a skid loader, operates trucks, can do labor, works around the shop. But more importantly, he's fantastic with all the guys and helps create that environment that we really enjoy at Public Works. And I'm just so grateful to have had him the last 3.5 years. You know, I'm really sad to see him go, but at the same time, so happy for him. You know, Kenny enjoys golfing, fishing, and just hanging out. So that opportunity starts on Friday for you. So congratulations. Well deserved.
We're really excited for Kenny and Roxy, and Roxy's not going anywhere for a long time. But she said she still expects her coffee in the morning, and okay. But, you know, Kenny is just a guy that when I stop by Public Works, if he's in the shop, I go find him. And I go find him because he makes you feel better. You know, you're met with a smile, you're met with a chuckle. You know, I don't even think I'm that funny, but he laughs at what I say, so I go find Kenny. But he's just that guy. You know, there's some people in our lives that maybe we steer clear from. He's the guy that I seek out. And I appreciate what you've given for Morrison County over 20 years. What did you say, almost 40, 50 years in the industry or the business, and a lifetime of close to 50 years. And it's time to hang up the spurs and enjoy that next chapter. We were just talking beforehand, and it's like, this is what we work for, right? We work for this moment, and we're happy for those that get to this moment where they can transition and enjoy the next chapter in this wonderful book of life. Kenny, on behalf of the Morrison County Board of Commissioners, I want to present you this print, a very, very small token of our appreciation. But it says, thank you for your dedicated service and for making Morrison County a place that our residents are proud to call home. You will be missed. It's got your years of service in Morrison County signed by the commissioners by district. So, Kenny, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything you want to say? Okay. Not surprised? No. Mr. Chair.
Just want to say thank you for your service, Kenny. You said you've been in the industry for 50 years. It's time for you to enjoy yourself and get out golfing and fishing, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Gentlemen?
If I may,
Mr. Wincher?
Tony, I'm sure you want to make sure that he does not become a stranger at the Public Works and that you let him, always going to be welcome there. And again, enjoy your next life, I should say. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Casper?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kenny, congratulations. 50 years, you had a lot of fun over there. That's a long time. Thank you for sticking it out. Thank you. It's people that, like you, it's like a piece of our heart goes when you leave. We'll miss you. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get a photo with the board, Kenny. Roxy. That's why you're here. Get up
Come
there.
on, Roxy.
Thank you.
So happy.
Thanks.
And then Bobby, you want to come on up, please?
covering anybody?
It's like the 80s. I can use it.
Tony, join Bobby on up there real quick.
Clearly don't not take pictures.
All right, come on in.
Morning, bud.
Thank you.
No, you're stuck. If we have to, you have to.
Okay.
There we go. Smile. Got it.
All right, round of applause for Kenny, please. Thanks, Tony. Thank you very much. Kenny, good luck, okay? Thanks, buddy. Don't be a stranger. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Got all this.
No.
All right. Next on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. Is there any item within the consent agenda that anyone would like to have further discussion about?
Mr. Chair, make a motion to approve the consent agenda as it was presented to.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
Second.
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Hearing none, this will be a roll call. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Commissioner Wincher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Aye.
Myself, Commissioner Lemire, is an aye. Motion carried. Number 6, Public Service Recognition Week proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
They love it too.
Way to go.
That's perfect.
I will present this proclamation if I may, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely, Administrator LeBlanc.
So Morrison County proclamation, whereas Morrison County employs over 300 employees who provide cost-effective, high-quality services in a friendly, respectful manner, creating healthy, safe, and vibrant communities for Morrison County's 34,000 residents. And whereas the efficiency of government relies on public employees and volunteers who provide services based on resident-centric structure. And whereas the work of Morrison County employees is fundamental, where it's public safety, professional services, or administrative support. And whereas through their commitment to Morrison County employees consistently practice 4 main core values. Trust is paramount, always do better, strive to understand, and take an innovative approach for the benefit of their neighbors. And whereas the vital work that counties do promotes healthy communities, fosters conditions for economic growth, strengthens infrastructure, and improves residents' quality of life. And whereas Morrison County recognizes the generous contributions of time, skill, and expertise by public employees and community volunteers, and the importance of the services they render. And now, therefore, the Morrison County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 4th through 10th, 2005 as Public Service Recognition Week in Morrison County, and call upon all citizens to recognize and express their appreciation for the important contributions of public employees and community volunteers through the county and around the world.
Perfect, thank you, Matt.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair?
Motion by Commissioner Blaine,
I can second that.
second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion? Commissioner Blaine?
Mr. Chair, I think it was a great way to start our day today in service to each other and to bring joy to each other. in recognizing that we are all here to serve the public. And I think that's really for us is the baseline for who we are and what we do. We are here to serve the public. And as Mr. LeBlanc so aptly read in the resolution, to improve our residents' quality of life. That's why we're here. We take joy and pride in our work and our work with each other, and we support each other in that. And I'm very proud to have moved this proclamation.
Thank you. Commissioner Blaine? Anything else, commissioners? I just would like to say the same thing. We appreciate, we have approximately 300 employees. They take care of the sick, they take care of the poor, they take care of the weak. Land services, our law enforcement agencies, and they make our job really easy. We're just a small cog in this big engine, and we can't show enough how much we appreciate what everybody does. We had a meeting last Thursday, was it, Matt? And wow, that was really an eye-opener on how great of workers that we do have here at Morrison County, and how they do want to work together for the better good of our citizens of Morrison County, and we can't be more grateful than the quality of employees that we have here. Gentlemen, we have a motion and a second. Discussion, further discussion, hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, Mr. Chair, can we get a photo with this proclamation?
Absolutely.
Let's get the county staff to come on up, please.
Everybody.
Please,
Everybody.
please.
Everybody.
Maybe we can duck out on this one.
We're employees too.
Somewhere in the middle.
Just like that, that's in the photo.
Morning, Julie.
Good.
In the middle there.
Front falls out.
I think you're the middle.
Jeff's the middle.
You got it. You're the middle.
Going further back?
Yeah, make sure.
I want.
Just like that.
Actually, it's the glare on the top of my melon.
Jeff, I'll take that back.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Couple
Have a
more.
great day.
Couple more.
Yeah, I wish you well.
What's your chair back?
Please, a couple months.
You couldn't even tell.
Exactly. I could just roll my chair back there. Just a little shorter, I wouldn't have to be seen.
All right, number 7 on the agenda is National Correctional Officers Week. Mr. LeBlanc?
Hey, Mr. Chair, I'll invite the sheriff.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board.
Good morning, Sheriff.
They all have arms, so. Just have to squeeze in here. We're good. Have a seat, everybody.
This one doesn't.
Jared, you ain't skipping out, no. Nice try.
So yeah, if you guys, we're thankful for the opportunity to be able to do this proclamation. We have Sergeant Herman with us. She has 22 years of service. We have Jared Cleven. He's got 3.5 years of service. And then Correctional Officer Jared Wahersky. He's got 21 years of service. And then we have Darcy with us, Okerman, and she has 16 years of service. So these people really don't get recognized enough, so we appreciate the support and to be able to come and do this proclamation.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Sheriff.
So if you don't mind, I'll just go through the proclamation. So this is a proclamation of the County Commissioners, Morrison County, to designate the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as National Correctional Officers Week. Whereas maintaining custody of those arrested for and convicted of criminal offenses is a vital public service. And whereas correctional officers have the difficult and dangerous job of ensuring the continued detention of inmates in our jails and prisons. And whereas correctional officers perform these tasks on a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year basis, often dealing with violent, mentally ill, and dangerous inmates. Whereas, since 1984, our nation has recognized the work and dedication of those engaged in the critical public service by designating the first full week of May to honor and work of correctional officers. And now therefore be it resolved that the Morrison County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as National Correctional Officers Week in Morrison County, and encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Motion by Commissioner Wincher, second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion? Commissioner Wincher.
I don't know how to say this, but you're the ones that are probably not seen so much in, out and about as far as like the deputy sheriffs, the sheriff, they're all in public. You guys aren't. So you are the ones, again, behind these scenes, doing things. Like our sheriff said, you're dealing with all kinds where, again, I wouldn't want to do the job because I would never make it, you know. So we just, as a county here, as the commissioners, myself speaking, we appreciate what you guys do in our jail system here, because again, you deal with all kinds, every kind that the deputy sheriffs and the sheriffs see, you guys see them. And then you have to deal with them every day where, again, I'm not a deputy sheriff or a sheriff. I don't know how they can do it, but much less you guys too. So again, thank you very much for what you do in our jail and the community. Again, appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Wincher. Commissioner
Chair.
Moran.
Yeah, the special, to work the 24/7, 365, it really, the commitment you have, you know, takes away time from the family, the holidays, and everything else, and we greatly appreciate you being there.
Thank you. Commissioner Casper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, thank you for your watchful eye. And as Randy mentioned, it goes unnoticed to the public, but you guys, there's never a time for you to nod off, because to keep an eye on folks that are incarcerated, it's a difficult job. Thank you for being there. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you. And I just want to say, this is a well-deserving proclamation for you guys. You're behind steel and cement to keep us safe from those that have a tendency to be violent to other people. And you're dealing with the violent, mentally ill, and dangerous people, and we appreciate it very much. And like I said earlier, this is well-deserving. Thank you for being here. Anything else, gentlemen?
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to say that, you know, one of the dynamics that we recognize that you guys have to work under, around, or through is the actions that are taken or not taken, or directives that are taken through the judicial process that does not necessarily support the actions that you're taking, and that really complicate the work that you have to do. I think there's a pretty broad understanding across this country that the perspective has to be taken that we have to take people who are dangerous to the public and have them off the streets, and someone has to do that job. Someone has to do that job, and it takes special people of strong intestinal fortitude, competency, empathy, and courage, and you all fit that bill. We want to support you to the best that we can because we believe in the work that you do. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Blaine. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to come up for a picture, please?
We'd like him to.
That's right.
I wanted to give them
First report of entry. Get that water bottle. Come on in the middle here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Carrie. Thanks, Jared.
Jared.
Here, I'll go stand on this one.
Darcy, thank you. Here.
Is this lopsided, or what do we need to do?
Watch the front will come off, thank you. Thank you so much.
Front will come off.
Yeah, we are.
Make that chief deputy come forward.
Want me over there?
No, right in front, right where you were,
Right in
thank
front.
you.
Right
Well,
there, yep. Push that microphone down.
Yep.
Just before you call the picture. Perfect.
Thank you.
keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Keep up the good work. Thanks. Fun.
Exercise.
Expect every photo to be in the paper next week.
Yeah, Billy.
All right, that was nice.
Number 8, next on the agenda, Mental Health Awareness Month proclamation.
Morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Morning, morning.
Bertram, Health and Human Services Director.
Julie Newman, adult mental health social worker.
Jeff Bowman, Adult Services Supervisor.
Welcome.
We are here with our Mental Health Awareness Proclamation for the month of May, and I believe you are reading for
I
us.
am, thank you. Proclamation Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2025. Whereas mental illnesses are medical conditions that disrupt a person's thinking, feeling, mood, ability to relate to others, and daily functioning. Just as diabetes is a disorder of the pancreas, mental illnesses are medical conditions that often result in a diminished capacity for coping with the ordinary demands of life. And whereas mental illnesses can affect persons of any age, race, religion, or income. Mental illnesses are not the result of personal weakness, lack of character, or poor upbringing. And whereas without treatment, the consequences of mental illness for the individual and society are astounding, including unemployment, substance abuse, homelessness, inappropriate incarceration, isolation, or even death. And whereas stigma, negative stereotyping, and prejudice erode the confidence that mental disorders are real, treatment health conditions, thus impeding a person in getting the help they need and impose attitudinal, structural, and financial barriers to affect treatment and recovery. And whereas early identification and treatment is of vital importance by ensuring access to the treatment and recovery supports that are proven effective, recovery is accelerated, and the further harm related to the course of illness is minimized. And whereas mental illnesses are treatable with appropriate effective medications and a wide range of services tailored to their needs, most people who live with serious mental illnesses can significantly reduce the impact of their illness and find a satisfying measure of achievement and independence. Now, therefore, with the Commissioners of Morrison County, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 to be Mental Health Awareness Month in Morrison County and urge all citizens to work together to break the stigma of mental illness and provide our support to those suffering and recovering from mental illness.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
Second.
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Another proclamation that is well worth speaking about. As we know, we talked about children mental health last week, and the amount of children that are going with, what was it? It went from, I don't remember the statistics, but from the last 5 years to today, it was increased dramatically. And you know, like in here, it says treating it early is the best time to treat it, and we appreciate the work that you do. It's proven effective that when you find someone that, early, that you can, you know, keep them from hurting themselves, keep them from losing their job, keep them from many things that impact not only the financial well-being of them, but it also puts stresses on our accounts, putting more work into them, you know, if they're incarcerated or whatnot, drug addictions. We appreciate the work that you do, and this is a great proclamation to highlight the great work that you guys do. Mr. Blaine?
Mr. Chair, you're very correct. This is a very worthy proclamation, and it deserves that recognition. But I think one of the things we also need to remember too, we all know individuals who are suffering from mental illness, just as we ourselves are struck with illnesses throughout our life. We seek treatment. Those individuals who have those struggles with mental illness, we know by fact that these people can be helped with proper treatment. One of the challenges I think that still is out there is the fact that these aren't always so easily recognizable in people. This isn't like a physical disability that we can recognize, a broken arm, a broken leg, or something like that, or a bad cough. But one thing that we need to make sure that we remind ourselves and others is, for those individuals out there that are struggling with this illness, that treatment is successful in helping these people improve their quality of life. And so we recognize those individuals who make that commitment in their life, of their career, in helping to deliver those treatment to those suffering that illness. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anything else, gentlemen? We got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We should take a picture.
Yeah. Exactly. Not good. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie. And this will fall out, this.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Julie, we're gonna get you right in the middle, about here. Nate, come on over here. Be part of the party.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
We'll talk to you in a couple minutes.
Yes. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Ted.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, can stay.
Right along.
Health and Human Services report. Got you before you sat down, Jeff.
again, Chair, Commissioners. Nathan Bertram, Health and Human Services Director.
Jeff Bowman, Adult Services Supervisor.
Good morning, Nate. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Morning. We're here today with our adult mental health case management report. Last week we did children's mental health, and that's kind of in sequence, I guess, to promote May as Mental Health Awareness Month. And so with that, I will let Jeff kick it off on what our services are at Health and Human Services for adult mental health.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Adult mental health case management, we are designed to support individuals to gain access to live their lives the way they want, whether that be through education, medical supports, vocational employment, and we assist those individuals that have a serious and persistent mental illness. Now, in order to gain access to adult mental health case management, an individual has to have a diagnostic assessment that has I like to speak in acronyms, SPMI, serious and persistent mental illness statement, saying this person is likely to have these diagnoses impact all functionings across all their life. And they have to have that within 6 months prior to having applied for adult mental health case management. And they have to have that updated every 3 years to maintain that eligibility. We serve individuals from 18 to well beyond 18, and we work with those that are voluntary. These come in through our intake social worker quite regularly, but we get referrals from other providers, therapists, clinic, hospital, some of our outreach programs as well. And as mentioned before, last week Children's Mental Health was here. A lot of times our individuals within children's mental health, they become eligible for adult mental health case management later on in life. And what we try to do is really work in partnership, the adult unit and the children's unit, and what works best for that person. Because 18 is not a straight, you're 18, you're an adult, you're ready to move into the adult world. It all depends on where that person is. We try to individualize that process as much as possible. And right now, what they're looking at doing is potentially increasing eligibility at the state level for what classifies as a SPMI diagnosis. Right now, I believe there are 4. It's schizophrenia, bipolar, borderline, and major depression. And they're looking at increasing that availability, that diagnostic requirement to allow more individuals to be eligible. On the next slide, you can see our statistics over the past several years of cases that we've had for Morrison County. Now, one of the big things that we implemented near the end of '24 was we started having a waiting list because our caseloads were getting more than what our case managers were able to function with. Now, that being said, an individual on a waiting list, they were not restricted access to any services that those that were currently accessing case management. We have several different grant programs that assist individuals with those that are not eligible for state plan insurance to access skills, arms, or other employment supports. We have grants that we utilize to help those individuals that fit into those cracks, and we allow access to those programs regardless if they're working with us through case management or they're a resident of Morrison County. And we also have several different providers in our area that do offer a form of case management that they were able to have access to if they wanted to transition to those. Now, if an individual says, I want to work with you guys, they're going to work with us. We'll continue to support them. But again, the hard part is we have our own children that turn into adults. We have transfers from other counties. These are those that aren't they're not subjected to the wait list. If they transfer from another county because they move here, they're not accessing services that would make that previous county continue to provide case management. We then become responsible. And also we have our commitments that come in. Those are involuntary, and we'll talk about those in a couple different slides later on. On the next slide, you can see our revenue for adult mental health case management. We bill insurance for our services. Again, we are obligated to provide case management for those regardless of insurance, and we have grants from the state that help us to fill in those individuals, support them, provide case management where we don't have a funding source. Those that are these numbers come from those that are individual for state plan, medical assistance, insurance. It break it down if they're on a PMAP, or if they're on straight medical assistance. And the hard part about this is the number or the reimbursement rate changes every year. It's based upon factors over 3-5 years ago. It's very hush-hush. One of the nice things is Nathan, since he's come here, has helped us to really understand how to make our numbers more reflective to increase our revenue. There are certain measures that we've been able to take since he's been able to come. So our annual or monthly revenue for case management has been able to increase since he's come. Simple things like the way the state counts cases in our tracking system, making sure we check the boxes that need to be checked. So, but again, it's hard for budget planning when this changes, and it varies from county to county very drastically.
I'll just note, it changes in, I don't know if you said it specifically, it changes June to July. So a lot of times when we start our budget process, we don't even know what our current rate is, and then it changes halfway through that budgetary year. So if all of a sudden your TCM rate drops by $400 to $500 per person per month, there's a significant budget swing on that for the second half of the year. And that's not always foreseeable, so. Anyway, continue, sorry.
Thank you for that. As mentioned previously, we work with those individuals mostly on a voluntary basis. These are the individuals where they work with us involuntarily. That is through a civil commitment. Now, this is very much a partnership with our local hospitals where they are the ones that start that process. We don't say a person is in danger to themselves or others based on their mental illness. We rely on a doctor professional to say, this person is in danger due to their mental illness. We need interventions. They're designed to be short-term to get that person stable, and the whole process occurs via the court system. We have our mental health case manager that does all the pre-petition screenings. What's required in those, he conducts a personal interview with the person, collects collateral information, and we work with our county attorney's office very well. We're very fortunate to have the relationship that we do. We can ask good questions, get good feedback. They provide us direction when laws and statutes change. So it's very good partnership that we have with them. And then there's a preliminary hearing, and an examiner meets with that person to give a formal recommendation, and then the final hearing occurs. There are times that individual needs to remain hospitalized until they're psychiatrically stable and ready to be discharged. There are times where that person is on a court order to follow through. They're released from the hospital, and if at any point for both of those individuals, once they are released, if we need to revoke them back to the hospital due to their mental illness, we are able to do so. But again, these are designed to be short-term. They start at 6 months, they can go up to a year afterwards, but they're designed to go to a more long-term, sustainable support, such as guardianship. We've had several instances where individuals have really done good turnaround, able to live their lives in the community through this intervention. So. On the next slide, we can see the amount of civil commitments for mental illness that we have had each year. Now, there are times where we get a recommendation to do a screening, and we don't screen everybody in. We want to make sure that person has given the opportunity, see their willingness to work voluntarily with the supports that they have. And I would say, if I had to guess, it's about 2/3, 66%, I'd say, is the ones that we actually screen in. Sometimes they're individuals we're currently working with. Sometimes they're people that just moved here and we have no idea that they were even here, so. One of the big projects that we have, or partnerships, is our Adult Mental Health Initiative. It's a regional collaboration to oversee adult mental health services, and it provides funding to counties to really assist in meeting the gaps of services. We work in Region 5+. It consists of Aiken, Cass, Crow Wing, Morrison, Todd, Wadena, Leech Lake, Band of Ojibwe, and Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. They provide funding for many different grant programs. Those that are not eligible for state plan insurance, like I'd mentioned previously. It helps with our crisis services, such as mobile crisis outreach. And we have several different positions that work to assist across the region. We have one of the biggest ones that's been a very big support for our adult mental health case management is our regional transitional specialist. He assists with locating placement for individuals that are in a hospital setting. So to make sure that the county is not on the hook for placement for these individuals if they remain in a hospital and we can't, on a commitment, and we can't find a place for them to go. Next, you can see several of our different partnerships that we have within Morrison County. One of the things that's been a very big plus within the past 6 months, we initiated our embedded social worker with law enforcement. That has been very well received, not only within these walls, but with our law enforcement partners, working at outreach, providing support for individuals that are in a mental health crisis, with going out with law enforcement on scene to provide that additional feedback and follow-up. We have our hospital social worker, and we have our jail, our comprehensive reentry is the official term, but jail social workers, much more common practice. Caitlin up in the jail, who provides screenings to individuals that come in for resources and such. As mentioned, we work with our crisis services, 988 crisis line, mobile crisis outreach. We have monthly meetings to make sure that we are all working together to meet the needs of our crisis providers. One of the big projects we have as well is our IPS team. It's individual placement and support. It's a collaboration with our adult mental health case managers, productive alternatives, and career force, designed to gain rapid employment engagement with those individuals with mental health. And then lastly, one of the things we've been really working to get off the ground, it's been around for a while, is our local advisory council. It's comprised of individuals with lived experience, providers, and other community members, really designed to look at specifically what unmet mental health needs are there here in Morrison County. We meet on a bi-monthly basis. So in looking back, overview, we work with individuals that have a SPMI, serious and persistent mental illness. Now, one of the big things I had not mentioned, the case managers, they not only work with those individuals through targeted case management, but through CADI waiver case management. So that comprises about half of their current caseloads. A couple months ago, Aaron and I were here talking about our disability waiver programs. The individuals that are SPMI and disability waiver program eligible are supported by our adult mental health team, and that's where their services are funded, because they go above and beyond what state plan insurance is designed to cover, such as foster care or some specialized employment supports as well. Right now, we currently have 4 full-time adult mental health case managers, and the children's unit and the adult unit have a split position where she is 0.6 CMH and 0.4 AMH. Any questions?
Commissioners, got any questions? Commissioner Wincher.
It's gonna be a tough question, I think. Dollar figures, that income from the federal government, let's not even leave the state out of it, could we be affected? So do we get money from federal government because of X or because Y. And if there's gonna be cuts, does Morrison County taxpayers pay some of this, yes, no, or is it mostly federal money?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Winter. There is federal dollars, but most of that's in the smaller section that says MA. My assumption is the PMAPs get some kind of funding that trickles down, and those are like your Blue Cross, Blue Shield, your health partners, the state paid for plans. And so I don't know that I've seen any guesstimates or I guess estimates of where those dollars are gonna go. Like I said, the TCM rates get adjusted every June, July timeframe anyway, and so we're constantly looking at swings, and when I say TCM rates, I'm gonna go off a tangent a little bit. So there's a children's mental health TCM rate, there's adult mental health, there's a child welfare targeted case management rate, and there's a DD and vulnerable adult one. And so all four of those, any June, July shift. And yes, there could be potential implications on that. I think the thing that I'm a little bit more keeping tabs on at the state level is that SPMI definition criteria. Right now, we have the 4 main diagnoses, and I think the state was looking at potentially adding 3, maybe 4 more, including generalized anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, eating disorder was one, eating disorders. And so while it's a good thing that people can get services under those diagnoses, it does also increase demand then on caseload, which we're already kind of struggling with managing that on a monthly basis. So keeping tabs on that probably more so right now.
Good information, thank you.
Commissioner Blaine?
So, kind of following along Commissioner Winter's thought process there, I think, and so, and Nate, you just reaffirmed this again, that, you know, the state's looking at expanding eligibility. We also, you know, are very aware of the fiscal challenges the state is dealing with now and what is looming on the horizon. So what kind of dialogue are we hearing, or you know, what's the thought on expanding eligibility? Will they expand fiscal resources to help us address a greater number of people that would be eligible for services? Is there in that look at expanding eligibility, is there that look at expanding fiscal resources for us?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Blaine. So yes, in the essence that once those diagnoses are determined that they're in for SPMI category, that opens up then that insurance billing piece. And so then if we open 10 new cases because there's 10 more people with that diagnosis who need the service, those then could be billed against insurance. So those graphs on those dollar amounts would potentially go up. It's per FTE to revenue, it's about a wash on TCM. I mean, and you, Commissioner Winter, brought up a little bit, is there county tax dollars, and to some extent, yes, it would be that shortfall between those revenues and those FTE, which isn't huge dollar amounts, but there is some county dollars there.
And to follow that, Mr. Chair, you know, as you said, with the expansion of eligibility, we would then assume we would have an expansion in the number of cases to manage out there, and where we are, we've heard from you before about this, and we're very aware of this, that we also have guidelines about the number of cases that can be managed by staff per month, and those guidelines or those thresholds out there. I look at this. I look at this in more challenging light, in the fact that we may have the opportunity to serve more people through eligibility and insurance to be able to help us with that. But do we have the ability within our staff resources to be able to do that to the guidelines sent to us by the state of Minnesota?
Mr.
And
Chair.
I'm not sure if that was a question or a remark. Your thoughts?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Blaine. Yeah, I don't know if that's a question, but my thoughts, I think that's part of the enigma that we're kind of sitting at right now. I mean, legislative session, if they're able to get it done, is supposed to be done the 19th, which is about 2 weeks away, and I think everyone's cautiously optimistic as seeing how that sorts out. And I think before we make determinations on kind of what services we may or may not need to adjust or pivot, I think we kind of got to wait for that date to get a clear picture on what services might we need to look at increasing, or which things might we need to look at pulling back on. And so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself until after that May 19th date, I guess.
Makes sense. We recognize the challenge that you both have and your staff has too.
Any other questions, commissioners? Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you.
Great update. Appreciate
God
it.
give you wisdom.
Yes?
Well, Mr. Chair, I'm not sure exactly where we're at with things. We were gonna do public hearing on the cannabis stuff, I think around 10, and then I also have the resolution for Children's Mental Health Initiative, and I don't remember if that was later on the agenda or if that was just kind of lumped in with Health and Human Services.
Mr. Chair,
ahead, Matt.
so the public hearing can't start before 10, it won't be part of the board session, it'll be after the board adjourns.
Okay.
Then we'll transition to a public hearing for cannabis ordinance updates. So
Okay.
on the agenda next would be the item here with Sourcewell's Community Impact Funds.
Yes.
All right.
You're up next.
Mr. Chair, if I may then.
Yes, go ahead,
Thanks,
Nate.
Jeff. So last week at planning session, I mentioned a little bit about 2023. We started a Children's Mental Health Initiative in Region 5. Each year, Sourcewell does community impact funding specifically to counties in Region 5 with a mental health focus. This year, we're intending to apply for Children's Mental Health Initiative funds again. And the resolution needed from you all is really just to throw our application into the ring for funding. That application is due on May 23rd or 24th. And so we would need this resolution to accompany our packet. And if there's no other questions from anyone, would you like me to read the resolution?
Yes, please.
All right. A resolution establishing support to seek funding from Sourcewell for support for Children's Mental Health Initiative in Region 5. Whereas Sourcewell is providing community impact funding for the counties in Region 5 that address mental health needs. And whereas social service and public health agencies of Cass, Crow Wing, Morrison, Todd, and Wadena counties work to prevent intrusive residential treatment interventions, prevent truancy, prevent delinquency, deflect children from child welfare, want to support and stabilize youth mental health functioning, provide community-based services, and support families in caring for their children with mental health issues. And whereas the Adult Mental Health Initiative has been successful in providing a forum for collaboration and successful implementation of services for adult mental health services, and whereas a Region 5 Children's Mental Health Initiative would provide a forum for children's mental health collaboration to work with unique partners that impact the continuum of care for children, which include the coordination of collaborative intensive bridging services. And whereas the Region 5 Children's Mental Health Initiative will be able to use Sourcewell grant funds to provide services that parents and providers in the communities of Region 5 have identified as a need. And whereas Region 5 Children's Mental Health Initiative will track and study the results of projects to ensure that investments are producing positive outcomes for youth, including decreasing out-of-home placement, and whereas counties have and are currently working on ways to meet the growing demand, and now therefore be it resolved that the Morrison County Board of Commissioners approves the Sourcewell Community Impact Funding application submitted by Region 5 counties, including Morrison County Health and Human Services, to apply for Sourcewell's impact funding to further develop and enhance our children's mental health initiative and collaborate with professionals and nonprofit organizations that will build capacity within our communities to support families and children in need.
Let's say that was a really good job. Thanks. Gentlemen, what is the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, we had a tremendous presentation and discussion. Melanie was here from Nate's staff as one of the supervisors, and so with that understanding of the opportunity for some additional funding, I would make a motion to approve this resolution.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion?
One
Yeah.
question, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead,
What's the
Commissioner
dollar
Winter.
amount that we're applying for again? I can't.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Winter. So this year, Sourcewell has allocated 500,000 to this area, and we intend to apply for all 500,000 for the 5-county area.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if
Commissioner
I may,
Blaine.
this is a grant with no match required.
That's correct. Thank you for bringing that up.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
And
Commissioner.
I don't know if Nate touched on it, but correct me, Nate, but the reason the other 4 counties are listed on here is because we're the fiscal host carrying this action forward. That's the only reason that we've got Cass, Crow Wing, Wadena, and Todd.
Mr. Chair, if I may, actually, all 5 of the counties are required to get a resolution
Okay.
to be a part of this, so they're all doing that as well between now and May 20th, so.
Any
But
other
yes, we
discussion?
are the fiscal host, I guess.
Thanks, Nate. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Next on the agenda, Land Services. Take from the table the rezone application for Dustin Wilner. Good morning, Amy.
Morning, Amy.
All right, so yes, Mr. Chair, the first thing I have is to take off the table for further discussion, the Dustin Wellner rezone request. So I'm looking for that first.
Gentlemen, what's the wish of the board?
Make motion to take from the table.
Motion made by Commissioner Moran, second by
I can second that.
Commissioner Casper. The motion is taken off the table and the application rezone is before us.
Mr. Chair, just a vote on that, please?
Sorry. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. It is now before us.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Mr. Chair. Then the next item I have is to resume consideration of the Wellner rezone. As you may recall, this came on for you at your last board meeting for rezoning this parcel from commercial to agriculture. You tabled this because there were some land use ordinance violations out on the site that would have constituted kind of a further violation if the rezone had occurred. So between now and then, the applicant has been informed that the item was tabled pending a land inspection by myself, and that occurred yesterday, and to check on the progress of the cleanup of the property, namely items that make the property a junkyard. So I did view the property yesterday. I did send an email to you yesterday. I believe Matt might have that if you want to be looking at that. The applicant is here today and has reported they did some further work after I was there late in the afternoon. So they're here to answer any questions that you may have as well, Mr. Chair.
Commissioners?
If I may, Mr.
Commissioner
Chair.
Winter?
Oh, yeah, we got the photos up there. And I appreciate the photos that were sent. in the last week, I spoke with the township. I also had a couple people in that area call me about there's no violations yet at one time, even though it was commercial. So I'd like to have Amy state it's commercial land, but yet there's so many junk vehicles on there. Did anybody ever consider, violations in commercial? Because it is a junkyard, if you could expound on that. That was a question that was brought up to me.
That's a fair question, Mr. Chair. This at one time was an operating automotive repair shop. And so when it was an automotive repair shop, there's usually vehicles staged there that are to be repaired. And I think in the past, we had many properties that functioned like that and kept vehicles on site for parts. So, yes, it was meeting the definition of a junkyard for a long time. We are a complaint-based office. We had not received any complaints regarding this property. And so that it wasn't on our radar screen until now. We didn't have any complaint history on this property. The part that compounds this now is that there is no business operating, and so it very clearly is a junkyard now because there is no other accessory use for the vehicles that are there. So in the commercial zoning district, junkyards are allowed with a conditional use permit, which has not been granted to this property. But with the request of a rezone to agriculture, it's a little bit bigger of a deal because there is no possibility to establish a junkyard in the ag zoning district because that use is not allowed. So I think that's why this is coming to a head now.
And if I may.
Go ahead, Commissioner Winter.
As I say, past couple weeks, even a month, there's a lot of buildings on this site. And the one party that they said that those buildings are being currently used. They can hear noises coming out of them, whatever. And again, it's commercial, so what, again, the township, what is gonna be our guarantee if we would remove, or maybe I can address this to the applicant, that these will no longer be used for repair facilities, hauling wood. I mean, the parties, they really lambasted you guys as a, sitting there making these noise, and it didn't have any business, even though it was commercial there, so that was a big one. And I don't know if any of these buildings are gonna be removed. I noticed some photos too that were sent, that there's possibly still people living there. This is not a hotel residence. I was a little disappointed that those were not all gone. That's what I would've worked on first, is getting rid of all the motorhomes, but again, you have to do what you gotta do, so throwing that out there.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Amy.
So unfortunately, the Land Services Office has not received any of these complaints. So we haven't been made aware that anyone is having any issue with these. So, so that's news to me. So that was not a focus of my inspection yesterday. I would say if anyone is, to me, that sounds like a disturbing the peace, which would not be anything that Land Services would regulate anyway. So if someone is bothered by that, that should be a call to the Sheriff's Department to address that. I would say we would be certainly looking at the uses that are occurring on the property. There are some commercial uses that can occur in the ag zoning district. However, they do need elevated permitting to undertake that. My understanding, and this, like you said, may be a question for the applicant, my understanding is that there will still be family members that do own businesses that will utilize the shop for automotive repair, regular maintenance, and then for storage of their equipment in the off seasons. So that is my understanding of what would be happening there. I don't I'm not aware of any interaction with the general public coming in and out of there. But again, that might be a better question for the applicant.
And if I could bring the applicant up.
Absolutely. Good morning. If I could have you state your name for the record, please.
Morning, Dustin Wilner.
Jody Stanley.
Commissioner Winter?
Mr. Chair, the question I have, what guarantee does this board have that if this rezone goes into effect, that you're gonna remove these vehicles? Because I don't know, how long has it been since it's been a repair shop? It's been a while.
Oh.
And so why did we start bringing junk vehicles in there? Again, I know I was at your, planning session or planning commission, and you stated that, but there's no guarantee for this board. I know you're doing a lot of removal, but I'm a little disappointed that if you were planning it, these vehicles should have been gone a long time ago.
The reason that they weren't removed right away is I wasn't sure you were gonna grant this rezone. And then it was like, we got this acreage out there. Why have it if we can't build? Why not have a business on it? So once we got the fact that we're gonna try and build out there to make this our home, all that stuff, like all those motorhomes, now those are gone. Because after Amy was out there yesterday, I realized that was a focal point. And I concentrated on all the cars. Now, mind you, I can remove one at a time. We got one wrecker that we can load cars on and pull out of there. The remaining vehicles that are there are my old vehicles that I used to work with, and I personally want to take a few parts off of them. If it's a problem, they can go. There's one farm truck that I wanted to keep, and I can get a farm tag on that. The reason to keep that is it's a water truck. So if we're going to build a house out there, we'll build in the really dry summer months, we can spray the water on because it's a lot of sand where we're gonna build, if we can build. And our guarantee to you guys, we're not gonna build around anything like that. You know, we've been out there and we've been working, and there's only a few vehicles left. And any other complaints, now we don't live there now. So as I was telling Amy yesterday, people were using it to drive out there and dump stuff because there's nobody there. So there's nobody on site most of the time. We get this, we get our house built up out there. I've already closed off like most of the entrances, but some of the vehicles that were blocking some of the entrances are gone. So, I mean, it's open now, but we get a build out there, we'll have cameras up, we'll have everything up. It'll be our personal property, our personal house, and it'll all be cleaned up. There'll be none of that stuff going on out there at all.
And my last question,
Mr.
maybe
Winter.
it's not my last question, Mr. Chair, but comment you made it that you want to know if this is going to get passed or not, then you would not, again, this is, I'm perceiving that you would not remove the vehicles. So, which is fine, but then I'm going to go back to Amy. Now, if there's complaints and this is not passed, now he decides to, I'm going to start a business, but all these vehicles are here. Now, being it's still commercial, complaints may follow, he's gonna be forced to remove them anyway. Yes, no?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Amy.
If this remains commercial, it would be an unpermitted junkyard. And so they would need to secure a conditional use permit from the board to operate a junkyard and would need to meet all of the performance standards within the ordinance. So the fact that it's commercial doesn't allow a junkyard, you need a conditional use permit to do that. So would it be your intention to pursue a junkyard permit?
Absolutely not. No,
Okay.
it's getting clear. I said that wrong.
No, but I understand, that's fine, I just wanted to be.
So, no, absolutely not. It's almost done. I've got updated pictures. Those motorhomes are gone. So we worked out there last night and got all of them. Them are gone. That picture we're looking at, it's clear.
I yield back to you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Anything else, gentlemen? Commissioner Moran?
Question for Amy. Morrison County, home of multiple tree trimmers, landscape, firewood. Do we regulate them? Is there?
Well, yes and no. So it depends on what they're doing on the property. If they're just simply storing their vehicles, no. If they are kiln drying and they are cutting and they've got staff there and all that, that's a business. And so we do regulate that. So it depends on how they're using the property in relation to their business.
And are most of them zoned agriculture then?
Most of them are, yes.
And is there a limit to the number of vehicles?
No, it would be considered a contractor's storage yard.
Any other questions, gentlemen? Mr. Casper?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, Amy, you've been on site, and now you hear Mr. Wellner. Are you confident that this is going to get cleaned up, should they be granted this?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Amy.
I've worked for the county for 25 years, and I've been told lots of things by lots of well-intentioned people. I'm trained to, I believe it when I see it, and that's not a slight on the applicant. It's just, when there isn't leverage and it costs money to clean this up, usually leverage helps. I'll say that.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Casper?
Is this something where it seems that we should grant another 2 weeks to get further cleanup done and to table it for today?
Mr. Chair, if I
Yes,
may?
Amy.
I think what we discussed yesterday is, the condition of this property didn't get like this overnight. It's 40 and 50 years in the making is what happened, and so with any junkyard property, cleanup doesn't happen overnight. What I will say is I believe the applicant has made incredible progress, way more than what I've seen on any other property that we have worked on. So I think this is an absolute good faith effort, but it does still meet the criteria of a junkyard at this time. So what your comfort level is with that, either way, we still have a violation out there, and if it's rezoned to agriculture, it will be a bigger violation than it is now, because now we are in a zoning district where this is not allowed at all. So it will become a violation for our office, and then we would enter into that active enforcement with deadlines for cleanup. So just so you know how my office would be handling that.
I understand.
I just want to say, Mr. Wellner, that I believe it was Greg and I that wanted the extra 15 days just to see your attempt on cleaning the facility up, and I'm pretty impressed on what you have gotten
Thank
done
you.
so far. And for me, it shows good intent that you plan on getting this clean, and I'll support this
I
rezone for you.
wouldn't have went this far, and I wouldn't stop now. I'm 90% done,
Yeah, and
at least.
I'm satisfied with the work that you've completed, and I will be supporting your rezone.
Gratefully
Anything else, gentlemen?
appreciated.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for clarifying that. And Mr. Wellner, I too am impressed with the tenacity you took to get to 90%. We want to see you get to 100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will.
And I appreciate the fact that your openness, with us, that you intend to build a residence out there. You want to build a home and live on this property.
Yes.
There's two things that come to mind with that intent for us.
Okay.
Number one, you're gonna have to come back and see Amy in her office and get a permit to build that home out there.
Okay.
Which obviously gives us the opportunity to have another look.
Yep.
We'll just tell you up front, we're all about accountability in Morrison County, within our employees, within our board. within our residents. And I'm glad that you're here to hear that from us, straightforward on that. So I too have goodness of heart to believe that you'll get the other 10% and be able to get to that point where you can build and reside on property that you own. The other part of this that the second point of this was the fact that just having you live there, have a residence, and you stated in your comments earlier, you'll have cameras up. This is a piece of property that was probably well known to a lot of people who may not even be around now, who utilize that as their own personal dumping ground with no right to do that, but desire-driven versus righteousness. And so I would like to think, I would like to believe, and I'd like to have faith in the future that the two of you taking residence there will, just having your residence there, your eye on that property will not allow for this kind of conduct to continue and to eliminate that. And then we can bring this property back to something that's respectable to yourselves, that shows the integrity, your own personal integrity, but also is respectful to your neighbors within your neighborhood there and the rest of Morrison County. I appreciate you both being here this morning and your patience with us.
Well said, Commissioner Blaine. Amy, being as the rezone, is it a 4/5 vote to pass?
Yes, a supermajority is required to pass the rezone.
Other gentlemen?
And Mr.
Commissioner, yes, go ahead,
I'm
Commissioner Blaine.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to reaffirm the fact that, and I believe this was stated before, and if I'm incorrect, Amy, please tell me, but we are not allowed to condition
That's right.
a rezone.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Amy.
That is correct, and I think that's what makes this so difficult. Because if this was an interim use permit or a conditional use permit, there would be a condition put on this. Without that ability, this makes it a little bit harder.
Thank you. Commissioner Winter?
Anyway, for the applicant, you got me teetering, but I'm not tottering yet. Amy, and again, Commissioner Casper brought up the additional 2 weeks. If we pass this now, it's going into violation regardless.
Correct.
I also kind of wouldn't mind having our township aboard, they don't have to have another public hearing or whatever to say, yep, they're for this. And I think they're the same way, they're seeing that. But I'm gonna go, you give me 2 more good weeks of this and I think we can get this.
Mr. Wilner?
Can I speak?
Yes.
When we met with the township, they're the ones who agreed that we should come to here. And then we've tried to be in contact with them, and they don't respond, which is fine, but they were the ones that were first in agreement, but we had to do this next meeting, and I would have had this all done, but like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't sure it was gonna pass, and if I couldn't live out there, but now I know we can, so it will get done, it's going to get done. I have to deposit money if I'm gonna build this summer. So if we keep pushing it off, it might not happen for us. So people are out there working as we speak. We worked until 10 o'clock last night. I'm on my way out there when I'm done. I can assure you this will be done, and this will be the way you guys want it.
Can I make a comment?
The challenge is, Mr. Chair, is
Yes.
even if we approve this, you're in violation, so you're not gonna get a permit to build. And that's the key, because then you still have to continue cleaning it up.
Are we going to?
Yeah, I understand it, and I hope your word is good, but like Amy, I've been in this area for a long time. People say things and they don't follow through because of financial or whatever. And I just think, for what I'm looking at, yeah, you did a great job. You made the comment, well, why should I do that? Again, you said you misspoke about that.
Yeah.
But so those things kind of stick with me, you know, so.
Understandable. All of those vehicles that get hauled into the junkyard are worth money. So I'm getting paid to take those in. It's not a financial thing at all. I got a couple people out there helping me clean up every single day. And like I said again, we wouldn't have came 90%. We're further now, Amy. I got pictures to prove that. It's close. And there's a couple, like I said, one or two of those vehicles, I'm just gonna get a farmer tag. Everything will be in compliance. And it's just a beautiful property. All my brothers and sisters live in town, all my nieces and nephews. So if they want to come out, you know, and ride a four-wheeler or anything, this is the property that we're able to do that stuff on. There's ponds, we got fish in the ponds we can fish in. It's just a nice property and we want to make it our home. And our home will not look like this when it's done or when it's even started. So.
And then my last question, I promise, to Amy, is there like PCA, anything like that, if they'd come in and request a permit to build a house, are you gonna come out there and, hey, there's oil contaminants, you know what I'm saying, with a junkyard? Is that a possibility?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Amy.
I would say that the only time the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency would come or get involved is if there was a report of a spill, or if there had been some above-ground or underground tanks that were being removed. I don't know that they have a real robust program for previous junkyards and any protocol for testing soils or anything like that. I think it would be more where if there was something significant that it was known to have happened there.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Stanley?
Yes, I was wondering, is it possible for us to get notified about complaints? Because we haven't heard anything.
Yes, I would, you know, if there are complaints, the best place would be to Amy's office. I mean, then she would contact you. But yeah, if Commissioner Winter would, if you would like to forward them to them, I'm sure they'd be fine with that.
Well, again, I told them to contact, here's the kid, that's a great question. They're scared of, you know, having repercussion. Most people, when they complain, I hear, don't you dare tell anybody else, you know, because, well, okay, we don't, but I always try to put them in the right, whether it's the sheriff's department, whether it's the I say, this is your complaint, it's complaint driven, you know, we hear this all the time. And if they're not, but they call me, and, you know, maybe not even the township, because, you know, whether you said if you don't get any, when somebody calls me, they're gonna get some, reaction, because I don't let it sit, you know. So.
I wouldn't either. I mean, if there's anything, please let me know.
But we can't fix a problem unless we know about it. And we don't need to know names. We just want to know what the problem is so that we're able to fix it.
And with the work that's being done out there, I can understand that there's gonna be noise and activity, but that's part of, production is, you know, chaos at times.
And now, yeah, it's a little noisy now because we're out there getting rid of all this, you know, and cleaning it up. But if there's ever any complaints, all we got to do is know about it and it'll be resolved. I'm
And
not
I
gonna
do have
play
a
that.
second question, if I can.
Yes, go ahead.
Is it true that if we have the automobiles licensed, it's not considered a junkyard?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Amy.
The threshold for a junkyard is if you have 3 or more unlicensed or inoperable vehicles. So they need to, or parts equivalent to that. So if you have a vehicle that's licensed but not operable, then that's still an issue.
Okay.
But I mean, you could have 12 operating vehicles that have current tabs, and it's not it doesn't meet that threshold.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Right, any other questions? All right, well, we have a motion, a second, to rezone the application. No, we do not.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Moran, second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion? like I said earlier, Greg and I were the impetus behind the 14-day wait to see if you had any progress done, and you showed considerable progress. And I appreciate the fact that you did get as much done as you did, and I wish you the best of luck. Any other comments, Commissioner?
Mr.
Commissioner
Chair?
Casper?
Yeah, I would just say, don't take your foot off the gas.
I won't.
You've come this far, don't let up now.
I will not.
Because it's a good thing when we trust people by their word and they come through. It makes our job much easier too, and we appreciate that big time.
Well, I'm giving you my word, and it's as good as I can give.
Thank
And
you.
I mean, you've got to see what we did. We will not stop now. There's people out there as we speak.
Thank you.
Any
Thank
further-
you.
Thank you,
Any
Mr.
further
Chair.
discussion?
The only comment I have, if this passes, you're going into violation as soon as you walk out of here. Am I
And
correct?
do we have a certain number of days to,
That'll be,
Mr. Chair, that'll be handled by our office.
okay.
Okay.
Hearing no further comments, this will be a roll call. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Commissioner Winter?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Thank you.
Commissioner Lemire, myself is an aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you.
We appreciate you.
Back to work.
Administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have anything for the board, pending anything I can provide.
Anything further for Administrator LeBlanc?
Nope.
Hearing none?
Oh, I'm sorry. And just a reminder, as mentioned earlier, we'll go into public hearing on the cannabis ordinance following this.
That's right. Committee reports. First up is Commissioner Casper.
Dates,
May 11th through May 24th.
May 11th. Okay, so Tuesday is 13th. We have planning session at 8:30. And following that, approximately 9:30 would be a budget meeting. Mount Morris has a meeting that night I'm gonna attempt to get to, the township. Let's see. And then Greg and I, over on the 14th, we are scheduled to be over in Wadena, along with Nate, for the Morrison Todd Wadena County Health Board at the Pizza Ranch. We're gonna meet. And then the following week, at 9 o'clock on the 20th, Tuesday, we have a Teams board meeting. And also on the 23rd, Friday, May 23rd, I have a 9 o'clock Mississippi Headwater Board meeting up at Walker. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Casper. Commissioner Winter?
all right, just to let people know, on the planning, commission, there is no PC that night, just Board of Adjustments on the 13th at 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
And cover me there, on Friday the 23rd, I'll have a soil and water at the Soil and Water Conservation, Morrison County, at 8:30, and that covers me.
Pizza Ranch.
Commissioner Moran?
That
106.
date, that on the 14th is for all commissioners? That would be correct. Okay,
106 Jefferson
sounds
Street.
good. And then Wednesday, the 21st, 5 o'clock with Hands of Hope virtual.
Very good, thank you. 12th, Yellow Ribbon Monthly Meeting. 13th, nothing. 14th, Matt, is that the safety meeting? The one on the 14th, Yellow Ribbon? 800 to 1? Would that be out at Ripley? Or do I have something written on? I'll let you know.
Okay, Commissioner, on the 14th, there's Camp Ripley Safety Day. It's an event put on by Camp Ripley for primarily designed for their summer hires as well as the rest of their staff to get trained in safety. And that day, Yellow Ribbon is providing the lunch for that event.
Thank you, Matt.
Excuse me, what time was that, Matt?
At Camp Ripley Safety Day, and that's for Yellow Ribbon.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, very good. Thank you.
21st, HRA, 9 o'clock. Public Health, the same day, at 5 o'clock. And that's it for me. Did I get you? No, you're next.
I'm closing her down. On the 12th, Commissioner Lemire and I will be at the Rosenmeyer board meeting at 6 o'clock. And on the 15th, Thursday, the 15th, the Ag Society will meet, and I believe that will be at the fairgrounds,
What time?
7 o'clock. And that would be, is our, Morrison Todd Radina Community Health Board meeting, is that open for all the commissioners to attend? So not to correct my friend Commissioner Casper, but I believe, Commissioner, for the rest of the commissioners, you're all invited to be there. That would be our tri-county once a year deal, so.
Very good.
Do you have Region 5 coming up?
I do, but I believe our Region 5 meeting in May would be the 29th.
Okay.
If it happens to be the 22nd, I will let you know, but I believe it to be the last Thursday.
All right, anything else? Hearing none, meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, guys.
Are you gonna take a break before
Yeah, I'll take that.
2 minutes?
Bobby?
3 minutes. See ya.
Have,